there has been this concept that willpower, it was like gas in a car, that you fill it up, you've got it, but when it runs out, that's absolutely it, and you're out of luck. And now there's new research suggesting that's not really the case. They did a study, and it's this theory of ego depletion, this idea that you make enough tough decisions in one day, after that you can't resist temptation. And I'll use an example, I don't mean to offend anyone, but it's supposedly why someone who's very moral and well-disciplined in the morning, if it's now 8 o'clock at night, they're tired, they've had a tough day, they're having a few drinks, they're traveling away from their spouse, this is when they're more likely to fall into having an affair. They've depleted their ego, they just don't have enough left. That was the theory. So here's what they found though, and this was a very specific study done on a number of test subjects. And what they found is it all came from the beliefs of the individuals they were studying. If someone believed that they had limited supplies of willpower, that they were powerless to say no to that donut after 8 p.m. or that piece of cake or that fifth drink, the sheer act that they believed that they had limited amounts of ego and limited amounts of willpower made them lose their willpower. And that people who felt strongly that they were in charge, that they controlled their own lives, did not see their willpower reduce. So it depends a great deal on your own self-identity. And a lot of what we've been hearing for a long time is simply no longer considered valid by a number of social scientists. So let's talk about habits as they relate to personal finance. Get real with yourself about what truly feels good. So many people start diets that they know they're going to hate, that they know it's going to feel like torture, and then you just give up a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes 6 months. But it's simply a waste of time to start diets if you know you're not ever going to feel good about it and it's going to be torture the whole time. If you had the ability to withstand torture, you wouldn't need to go on the diet in the first place. You would be at a perfect weight in the first place if you're able to torture yourself. The second big concept from Mind Body Green is it's critical to embrace routine. This idea that, well, I just exercise when I feel about it, when the muse hits me, it doesn't work. If you want to be healthy, with diet, with exercise, with your finances, you need to do things on a regular basis. That can include saving a percentage of your paycheck every single month. That can include exercising at the exact time every single day. So routine is something you need to embrace. The third big concept from this particular blogger is schedule yourself in. Put your name on your calendar. So many of us, and I was guilty of this in the past, we put everything on our schedule revolving around what a client wants, what a customer wants, what a neighbor wants. We pencil things in where we have to be to react to other people. And what we should be doing first is putting our own name on the calendar. I'm going to be going on a walk at the beach for 2 hours Saturday morning, or I'm going to be at this museum for 3 hours Sunday. You've got to put your own name on the calendar first. The next concept this particular writer advocates is set boundaries. You need to graduate from glorifying busy schedules. People like to, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so busy. Someone tells you they're busy, what they're really telling you is, I have no priorities. I'm disorganized. That's really what it means if someone says they're too busy, they're too busy. And the other annoying thing about people who talk about how busy they are is they spend so much time talking about how busy they are, they could have done the thing you asked them to do if they just stopped talking about how busy they are. You've got to set boundaries with your time and your energy. This will allow you to have more energy for what is truly important. That's why it's critically important to say no. Now, the fifth one jumped out at me, and perhaps it's my own perspective since I am married and live with a wife and daughter. Make a loneliness game plan. Feeling lonely, the author contends, can be extremely triggering, leading many of us to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms. Come up with a plan of concrete things you can do when the loneliness starts to creep in. And by the way, you can be lonely and be married and living with people. I don't mean to make it sound like that's an automatic out for me. And be honest with yourself about your weak spots. Mine, the author contends, is online shopping and trying to buy the experience I wish I was having. So don't revert to your usual crutches. And for other people, it's mindless snacking in front of a television. Certainly, and I can remember single days every so often thinking, I'm not going to be around anyone. I can just eat as much ice cream as I want, drink. Being completely alone can sometimes trigger negative habits because you don't feel accountable. You feel like no one is looking. So be careful of those.